What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today I'm going to be actually showcasing some World at War gameplay because I believe this game, out of any game I could possibly think of, is a perfect example for today's commentary. Now, for those who have not noticed already, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard of this news and information, but I had to go ahead and put my 2 cents in on this because I am honestly pretty disappointed when it comes to the Call of Duty community. But Modern Warzone put out a tweet saying, core maps in Modern Warfare 2 were all built exclusively for traditional 6v6 combat. The maps are trending towards smaller and tighter play spaces with less verticality. Not the porous and open map design we had with Modern Warfare 2019 that contained safe spaces for players. He then went on and posted the 3 maps that were showcased to a lot of the content creators. The first one being Museum is set in Spain and takes heavy inspiration from the Getty Museum. Grand Prix is a racetrack set in Asia at night with a race still going on in the background. And Farm 18 is an undisclosed training facility set in an old cement factory. It has a traditional shoot house in the middle of the map. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, these maps do not sound bad on paper, but my main problem with this whole topic here is that they are trending towards smaller and tighter play spaces with less verticality. I'm sorry to say it, but this was never what Call of Duty was about, and I was so worried that this day was finally going to come. Every single year a Call of Duty game releases, everybody says the same thing. The maps are way too big. Not the maps are bad. That's what we should have been saying. We should have been saying the maps are bad in these games, but no, instead of saying that, we've been saying the maps are too big. Too much space. Too wide. Large maps suck. We want small maps. We want more small maps. And I knew eventually over time, the more the community started screaming this crap, this right here was going to happen. Infinity Ward finally caved in, and they're going to go ahead and basically shrink down all of their maps. And to me personally, that sucks because that's what made Infinity Ward. That's what helped differentiate this studio from the rest of the crowd. Between Sledgehammer Games, between Raven, between Treyarch, Infinity Ward has always gone above and beyond when it comes to map creation. Whether it comes with the variety and actual events that go on within the maps, like we saw with Ghost, with earthquakes and stuff like that happened in-game, nukes blowing up certain portions and completely changing the maps alone, and also just the large and creative map designs they are known for. I love that style in Infinity Ward, but the community was able to complain enough about the previous game that now they're going to make this massive change for Modern Warfare 2. Like I said earlier, this isn't COD. You could see with your own 2 eyes the gameplay in front of you guys. World at War is notorious for having some of the best map designs in the whole franchise. Yet and still, all of them are pretty much large-scaled. There is maybe, 2, maybe 3 small maps within Call of Duty World at War. That's it. The rest of them are medium, just barely medium, because they all push more over to the large-scale side of things. Oh, but JB, that's back in the day. That's ancient. Call of Duty 4, World at War, Call of Duty 1 through 3, those are so old school. Yeah, that's how it was back in the day. But the Call of Duties that I know and love were so much more different, and they're so much more fast-paced. No, Black Ops 2, one of the most iconic, loved Call of Duty games in the whole franchise, over half of the maps were large-scaled. They had tons of variety. They had tons of verticality in Black Ops 2. Modern Warfare 2, Afghan, Estate, Invasion, Wasteland. Tons of absolute goated maps that people love to just death. All the small maps in Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2, let's just go with Rust for Modern Warfare 2. You could barely even find them in public matches. Do you know, I don't even think I played Search and Destroy, Rust, ever. I think I played it 1 time in a public match. If I wanted to go ahead and do that, I have to go into a private match. It just wasn't a thing back in the day. And that's not just those 2. Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 has so many large, one of my favorite maps of all time is Cracked from Black Ops 1. And that has so much verticality, so many buildings, and so many quote-unquote safe spaces that we would see in Modern Warfare 2019, yet it was still absolutely goated. Favela from Modern Warfare 2, another map with just a Favela had such a stupid amount of verticality, yet and still it's loved, and people want to see it come back to Modern Warfare 2? People want that map to come back, yet they're the same people who are saying they do not like the large maps with verticality. Make it make sense to me, please. This is not what Call of Duty ever was. Like I said, we were putting our hate and frustration towards the wrong direction. We should have never been complaining about the size of the map. We should have been complaining about the quality of the map. You know, Modern Warfare 2019, the maps weren't bad because they were big. You know, if you didn't like the big maps in Ground War and stuff like that, then don't play Ground War, right? You know, you need big maps for Ground War. But when it comes to 6v6, the size of those maps were pretty much the same exact size as any map you would see in the whole Call of Duty franchise, or at least the older days. I swear, Jetpack CODs is where the whole mindset changed. Once Advanced Warfare came out, everybody in the world started to think that Call of Duty is the most crackhead, you know, fast-paced game that has ever been invented. When, like I said, it's fast-paced. It's much more fast-paced than other FPS games. But it was never crackhead energy. You know, you had time in between. I mean, these maps that you see right here, you didn't even have unlimited sprint. You have to run marathon. You know, if you wanted to sprint longer, you have to run a perk for that. So the majority of people in these lobbies couldn't even get to point A to point B fast enough. And these maps are like 2 times the size of something that you would see current date. Yet nobody ever complained about it back in the day because it was never a problem because the maps were actually made with quality and love. That's all that mattered when it came to map design. Not because they were too big, it was because they were made properly. I want to make it very clear. I don't hate small maps. I'm not saying I don't want to see any small maps when it comes to Modern Warfare 2. I love maps like Rust or Shipment, you know, Nuketown. I'm getting a little tired of Nuketown after, you know, seeing it so many years, but still, you know, Nuketown. Small maps definitely have a place in Call of Duty. They always have and always will, and they're iconic. You know, they're 1v1 maps, 2v2 maps, you know, sniper matches and stuff like that, you know, knife match, you know. Small maps were always goated in their own way. But I don't want every single map being a small map because it lacks variety in gameplay. I don't know why everybody wants them for, you know, quote-unquote faster, you know, gameplay. It doesn't make the gameplay faster. Shipment, what's the best technique? If you want to get a 100-kill game, you sit in the corner that you spawn in and literally let the enemy spawn in front of you. Nuketown, you run to the middle of the map, you watch the back of their spawn. You know, like, I never understood what was so amazing about these smaller maps. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I enjoy them. I do. They're nice to have when I'm tired and I don't feel like thinking and I want to shut my brain off and just, you know, like I said, run up to the middle of the map and just find a bunch of enemies right away. Nothing wrong with that. But do I want every experience in Call of Duty to be that? No. That's the fun of COD. Being able to figure out paths and strategies to take out different opponents and campers and, you know, people who are playing the opposite way of you. You could always do that. This map right here has so many safe spaces I can't even count. Yet and still, I can find ways to maneuver around it so I can stay hidden with a Tommy gun that I'm barely even aiming down sights with. I'm just running around hip firing. Yet I'm still able to play a big map the exact way that I want to. And it's not just my playstyle. If you enjoy camping, if you want to pick up an AR and play, you know, more lengthy role, you can do so in this map. If you want an LMG, you could do so in this map. If you want to run a shotgun, you can do so in this map. You see what I'm saying here? Large maps were never bad in past Call of Duty games. In fact, larger maps led to all playstyles being able to enjoy the overall experience. But the developers forgot how to make larger maps. So the problem here isn't making the developers shrink down the maps to make them more playable. No, we need the developers to learn how to be good at making maps again. We just have to get them to that point where we can get our next generations of, you know, invasions and estates, you know, cracked and, you know, all these other goated maps, castle and all this other stuff. These maps were so fantastic back in the day. They're still fantastic today. All the times they remaster them into their current games. They're 10 times better than the original maps that they're making in Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard. It's just mind-boggling. And here we are after years and years and years of the community complaining about the large maps in this game. And now we're going to be getting Shipment and Shoot House for pretty much a reskin. Every single map that's in 2022 or Call of Duty 2022 or Modern Warfare 2, whatever the hell you want to call this game. I'm worried. That's all I got to say is I'm worried. The main reason I like Infinity Ward is because it gives me a break from the Treyarch style of gameplay as well. And that's the main reason why I like Treyarch as well, because it gives me a break from Infinity Ward game style. You see what I'm saying here? Both the development teams make it easier for me to play this game, you know, every single year, because they give me a different experience. But if Infinity Ward wants to go ahead and copy Treyarch's playstyle now, then what's going to be the uniqueness of this development team? You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll go amazing. Maybe this will be the best change in the whole world. But to me, I am very concerned. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bonus, I hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, this too is do so over Twitter and Discord. Both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.